Gordon, good to see you. Give us an update in terms of fitness, and do you have any more withdrawals?
Ketch is not going to make it. Ketch Yanya is not going to make it. It's tight calves, so he's went back to get treatment at Watford. Apart from that, James Morrison, he's got struggled. James, he had an injury at the end of the game against Crystal Palace the other day there. Apart from that, I think we're all good.
Charlie Mulgrew?
Oh, Charlie was never going to be fit. Charlie's only here because he wanted to be here and he wanted to add to our squad and what we do behind the scenes, and he's certainly done that.
You said it's a must-win game. Scotland must take something from it.
Yeah.
What gives you the belief that we can get something from this one, and what will the approach be?
Always the players. Always the players, first and foremost, and the fans. And together, we're going to put in a performance. Where that performance takes us, we don't know. Because it's going to be a huge performance with the opposing team, or something like bad luck is it against Germany, where you put in a performance, it hits somebody's heel and goes in the back of the net, and it hits the post and comes back and goes in. So in recent weeks, an individual mistake can be a problem. So we've got to get the performance right, and then we have to try and up it a wee bit in terms of the technical ability just in the last third, and that would do me.
You've played Poland twice in the last 18 months and got a win and a draw. Are they a better team now, and are you a better team now going into this game?
I think from the first game way back, they're definitely a better side, and we've got better as well. They've got better because they've improved as a group, but also have some good players back in their side from the side that played 18 months ago. So we knew that, but the improvement's been terrific.
There's a lot of talk about how do you stop Robert Lewandowski. Would that be wrong just to focus on one player? Is it a collective? You need to stop them all, and plus getting forward yourself?
Yeah, most of our work has been done on group defending, group attacking, and group defending. Hopefully nullify anything that their top players in areas they want to play in. But the secret is actually if you keep the ball long enough and you keep the ball longer than them, then the chance of scoring a goal is reduced. So that's what we've got to try and do, and then if we have more chances and more goals, then that'll be fine. But we understand there is some right good players in the Polish side.
Gordon, you've got some players in real form at the moment, especially your strikers. How tricky a decision is that going to be for you?
I would say that's the one we've been thinking about for a long time, because every striker has scored a goal at the weekend, I think. Now, when you say informed, do you mean one game or 10 games or a year or 3 months? I don't think you can conform somebody scoring a goal at the weekend. Feeling good about themselves, that definitely helps if you score a goal. But each of the strikers have different assets, different pluses to their games, but we don't have an all-round guy who has every one of these. Then you've got to say, what type of game should it be? That's the kind of game you've got to try and envisage as a coach or coaches, and pick the player or players that would suit that game. So that's the decisions that we'll have to make over the last couple of days.
So it's a balancing act.
And saying that, we have decisions to make in midfield. We've got good players. We've got decisions to make, although it does diminish a bit with Ketch leaving in wide positions. So we've had all these things that we finally, so that's what we do, the coaches try and pick it, try and envisage the game and try and envisage what is the best 11 for that game. People might say, yeah, that's a striker you play, that's a winger you play, but we really don't know until the game starts.
A balancing act then between recent form, if we can call it that, and what you know these players can do for you.
Oh, listen, I've not got one problem with how I know they're going to approach the game. That I go to bed, sleep well on that. There's more to it that, as I said, that their technical ability against Georgia, if that had been 6 passes better, then it's been a different game altogether. Because if you look back at the goal we scored against Poland, the first goal was a terrific goal. if you look back on it, with great control, great passing, great finishing. We missed that in Georgia, and we put ourselves in this position because of that. And as a manager, you've got to look at the training and say, who's really on top form? Who can put that final pass in? Who's got that vision to see that pass? So there's a lot going on when you're picking a side. It's just no, that's the side to play against every team. You can be different from team to team.
Sorry, you've been involved in big games as a player and as a manager. Would it be safe to say this is your biggest game as Scotland manager?
I really don't know. I would imagine so. It's a big one. But we put ourselves in this position to be a big one. Well, let's put ourselves in a position by playing well for a lot of the tournament, or put ourselves in a position by no scoring a goal against Georgia. So we're here, we put ourselves in a position, and it's a big game, as you say.
Gordon, you've also been in a position where you needed results to go elsewhere for you. Can you tell us about that experience, specifically at Coventry City and Tottenham?
Oh, that day? I'd rather not think about that experience, because it was a horrendous experience until the final whistle blew. Because I was player manager at the time, and I was a substitute, and the coaches wanted me on, but I literally couldn't move. So I kept moving for the coaches and going for a warm up and not speaking to them. And somebody says Dan Huckabee he's shattered, he has to come off. So I asked him if he was shattered as I was warmed up. He says yes I am. So I went back and told him no, he feels perfectly fit. So I've been in there, but this is different. This is different from a relegation battle. There's definitely more excitement about this and nervousness than the one you're talking about. But I've got to say that we did stay up that day.
How was it looking at results from two other grounds at the same time as you were playing?
Well, we kicked off later. That was a problem. There was 15 minutes to go, and Big Steve Groove made a fantastic save to keep us in the Premiership. So it's I've been there before with championships as well and winning championships. But you just deal with how the game is at that time.
Will someone in the dugout be keeping an eye on the Ireland result and how that's
I'd like to think they're watching the game.
Big fan?
I'd like to think they'd be watching the game.
I mean in the Scotland dugout.
That's right. I like to think my coach would be watching the game. Well, I think so. That's what I'm paid for.
The Ireland match.
But I can't do anything about the Ireland match.
That's what I'm asking about. Will someone keep an eye on the Ireland result?
No, they'll be watching the game.
I mean, in terms of game management, will you not be influenced at all by what's going on in that match? We're just solely focused on 3 points from this match.
Yep.
Would you have taken this situation at the start of the campaign, Tom?
No, but we have to deal with it. I believe our performances, and we have, as you look at Germany with balls hitting the post and coming back, there's been breaks that we've not had. But we're here, and we deal with that. And if you say to me performances, yes. Delighted with the performances over the last year and a bit. Delighted with the players' performance. Delighted with their attitude. So there are a lot of things I'm delighted about. The only thing that's holding us back just now is that performance in Georgia. But if we win the next two games, then hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Don't look back at that game and we find that this is the most important game.
Gordon, you spoke at the squad announcement about you can't get too emotional. You don't want players, you want them to be focused but not too emotional. What do you say to the players given what's at stake?
I don't think it is a sentence. I think it's how you conduct yourself since we met and how we get on with the training and deal with things, deal with problems that come up. So it's no, people think it's one speech or one thing. No, it's the way we deal with the last 4 days.
Have you noticed anything different? Do the players look more nervous given that they have to get a result?
No.
Gordon,
Stop.
Sorry. What have you made of the noise coming from the polls about that they're looking for protection from Scotland players maybe going to kick them off the field? You're a man that's taken a few kicks yourself.
Yeah. Depends who's making the noise. Depends who's making the noise. Oh no, it's over the tournament. We they have had 30%, at least 30%. I don't know what maths, I'm not that great, but I know the figures. It's about 30% more fouls against them than we have. They've had more yellow cards than we have. So that's the reality.
do you worry that because they've made this noise that might influence maybe the officials in terms of maybe being overcautious in terms of any sort of?
I don't know the officials. I don't know who's officiating the referee, who's doing the game. I don't care.
Does it annoy you then because it's as if they're making out as if your team's a rough team?
Well, I think I've gave you the stats. You can look it up and you'll find the exact figures, but we'll work it out. It's about 30% more.
You had a chat with a few of the fans after training. Any advice?
Plenty.
Did you share any?
Plenty. I've got all their favourites. If I can get with the fans, if I can get a team off. Matter of fact, there's ones that want to pick. They're not even here. So if I get a team of 25, they'd all be happy. But they're great. They were great fun. It was good. It's good to see that they enjoyed the training. And actually, when the training was going on, when there was shots and things like that, there was a noise of a crowd there, which was good. And matter of fact, there was a noise of astonishment when Bruni hit the ball for about 35 yards and went on target. So it was good. It was good. It helped us all the day.
Did that against Poland before though?
He has, yeah.
Okay.
He's up there now. So I'm not too much.